All right, let's look at the worst parents of my 600-pound life.
From pulling their children out of school to look after them full time, to making their grandchildren clean up after them after they go to the bathroom
These
on
are
themselves.
censored, so
These are by far and away the worst parents ever to feature on my 600-pound life. Starting off with one of the worst parents on the show is Kirsten, a 38-year-old weighing in at 612 pounds. Kirsten had a rough childhood. After being assaulted in high school, she began to take drugs and not look after herself at all. Addicted to these drugs, Kirsten would often live in with her deals and trade her body for drugs. As a result, she became pregnant with her first child and never knew who the real father was. She became deeply unhappy at her circumstances and started to binge eat to feel a sense of fulfillment. She also used
guys, don't do drugs. And don't use your body as payment, please.
as a way to make herself undesirable, hoping that it would keep people away from her.
And I kept eating, and maybe I was hoping to just keep people away from me. I don't know.
By the time Kirsten was in her early 20s, she weighed over 300 pounds. Living the same lifestyle, Kirsten fell pregnant with her second child, and due to her weight, Kirsten realized that she couldn't look after both of her children properly.
Everything was really out of
That
control.
boy's so tired. He's so cute.
And I couldn't give my kids what
Yeah, it's kind
I
of sad to
knew
make
that they
yourself
deserved and
undesirable.
needed. So I let my mom and dad take them because I couldn't take care of them anymore.
Knowing she was incapable of providing for them both, Kirsten gave both children back to her parents to look after. By the time Kirsten's
I mean, at least she originally realized that, you know, her kids might be in better care of the parents. I mean, that's pretty good, but I don't know. You never know if there's like another backstory.
On the show, the children have been living with their grandparents for over 10 years. For those 10 years, Kirsten has been suffering with her addiction to drugs and food, gaining to the point where she was unaware.
All right, so here's the downfall part of that. Yeah, you know, if you can't take care of your kids right then and there, you let your parents take care of them for a little bit. That's when you work on yourself. You get off the drugs. You, I guess, lose some weight so you don't get to the 600-pound thing. But it seems like she's just doing worse at this point.
Of how heavy she'd become. On the show, her children Nico and Lexi reflect on their living situation with their grandparents.
And my parents have been raising them for the last 10 years.
Growing up, I didn't really get to see my mom that much because she was doing like drugs and stuff, and she didn't want me to be around that.
That's so sad.
It would be probably best for me and Nico to stay here with our grandparents.
Attempting to get her life back under control, Kirsten moves in with her parents after being clean for 6 months, sharing a room with her son, Nico. Getting clean wasn't the only reason why Kirsten moved back in with her parents. As she gained so much weight, she was no longer able to look after herself, requiring her parents to help her with basic tasks like showering and cleaning. Kirsten even needs her mother to help wipe after using the toilet.
My family does everything for me.
No. Like, I don't know.
Everyday life, everything.
I don't have words right
my
now.
mom gets my food ready. She washes my clothes. And at times she has to help me wipe my butt. I'm an invalid.
Sharing the same room as Nico, her young son is clearly uncomfortable with the arrangement, as her size means that her
Yeah, I mean, I would be kind of uncomfortable too with that situation.
The double bed takes up most of the space in the room. Nico
he has no room, basically.
The amount of food that she sneaks, always making the excuse that this is her cheat day. Kirsten also makes Nico sneak her food without her parents' knowledge, even bribing Nico when he tries to refuse. This obviously creates an unhealthy relationship between the pair, as Nico is desperate for attention and affection from his mother, which he has spent the last 10 years without, so he agrees to indulge her dangerous eating habits just to please her. Nico is concerned for his mother as she becomes increasingly more immobile, relying on him to complete more and more tasks for her, worrying that one day she will just stop getting out of bed. Viewers of the show also feel deep sympathy for Nico, with one Reddit user commenting, "I feel awful for her son and I hope that he's doing well now."
It's sad that, you know, because of you not taking care of yourself, your children are having to take care of you now. She's only 13. So her 13-year-old son is taking care of her. I don't know. where's the daughter? Isn't the daughter there? I wonder why she and the mom weren't rooming together. I don't know. I feel like I don't know.
He was an absolute parent, and then he was expected to drop everything to take care of her. He was 13 and deserved
Yeah, she kept
the
in
opportunity
contact,
to
but
be a kid. It's shocking to see that after neglecting Nico for 10 years, she expects him to look after her every need the moment that she decides to come back into his life. Just like Kirsten, 673-pound Pauline expects her son to completely take care of her, twisting their relationship as mother and son as he assumes the role of the parent in this case.
If I had a kid, I would only want them to take care of me when I'm actually elderly enough and not able to take care of myself at that point. You know,
the most infuriating
you gotta work
aspects
on
of
yourself
Pauline,
sometimes.
like many other parents on our list, is their awareness of how damaging their overeating is to their children.
I am very aware of the damage I am doing to my son through overeating. These last 6 years have probably been pretty miserable for him.
I just can't wait for the day that I don't have to help her every day.
Oh my
Please don't
gosh.
let me wreck. Oh God.
Pauline knows that she's harming her son, but seemingly doesn't care enough to change it. Dylan, Pauline's teenage son, looks after Pauline in every aspect of life. He
I can
takes
take care of
the
myself. No.
groceries, where Pauline orders
Let me
him
do it.
around, demanding he selects the biggest items he can possibly find, as well as running the household by himself. Dylan's biggest dream is the day when he doesn't have to look after his mother anymore.
Yeah, the day you don't have to look after your mother anymore. That kind of sounds like you're ready for her to just go. So like, is he? Well, that's not too bad of a dinner. Peas and steak. That's not too bad. Not too bad. But it kind of sounds like he's like getting the biggest portions and stuff. Like, here you go. Hurry up. Like, I mean, I kind of understand where he's coming from, though. Like, I'm tired of helping you. But so it can also be like, hey, can you please help yourself in this situation? Like, look, he's not. What was it? He looks, huh? Wait, how many years has it been? That's crazy. They have a video, like, of interview of him at 13, and then now. I don't know.
Can't move out and start a life of
Yeah,
his
if he's
own
alone, won't
because
do much
his mother
health-wise,
needs him
true.
to stay and look after her. And it makes you think, what kind of dream is that for a young man to have? Pauline is completely aware of this, knowing that she could potentially ruin his life. Starting the show for a second chance at life also gives Dylan the opportunity to start his. Unlike
Yeah, how is she affording to buy all the food? Unless, like, her parents are paying for it, or she's on some sort of disability or something like that. That's the only thing I can think of. Some sort of social security situation, maybe. I don't know.
Kirsten's young children,
Or her son.
Dylan has more
That's true. Or the
responsibility
son,
over
now that
Pauline
he's working
as he
age.
drives her across the country to Houston and attends all of her appointments with Dr. Now. When Dylan is asked why he buys such unhealthy foods, Pauline explains that she abuses her position as his mother and forces him to buy whatever she wants.
Chips.
See, I feel like this would be my thing. Like, she said she's abusing her position as as the mother, telling her son to buy the things, but if he doesn't, what's she gonna do? I mean, I'm just saying. What is she gonna do? Like, hey, mom, look, I have you peas and carrots and green beans and, some healthy stuff here. But she begs for, asks for McDonald's. Give me McDonald's, blah, 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 blah. You're grounded. No, you're gonna eat this. I feel like I would need to take over. If I'm buying the food, if I'm taking care of you, I feel like I should be in charge at that point. Like, we're gonna have to do something different.
Ice cream. The next question is, who buys those?
I'll send my son, but I know what you're gonna say, and it's really not his fault. He's probably considered an enabler, but I abuse my position as his mother, and I tell him, go get my food, and I force him to do it.
You know, the solution is
If
not
she's
to
aware,
buy
she
it.
can stop it.
Right.
At least
Okay,
start the
So
process.
you already know the solution. You already know the answer. You already know the problem, but you have no control over it.
And it really makes you wonder what kind of person would admit they're abusing their own children, knowing that it's wrong, and do nothing about it. A month into the program, Dylan is responsible for preparing Pauline's no-carb meals in line with Dr. Now's plan. At her second appointment though, Pauline hasn't lost any weight, instead gaining 4 pounds. Pauline expects so much from Dylan when he is still really just a child. Whenever he's on camera, he looks emotionless and stoic, with Pauline essentially robbing him of a...
He just seems dead inside. Like this, like if you're taking care of your mom constantly for her problems and so forth, he has no life. He has no life, basically, at this point. It seems like
enslaving him as a
his
carer,
own.
And it seems like Dylan has just accepted this. One Reddit commenter said he was raised by a mother who, by her own admission, feels that the roles are reversed. I totally feel like he's the parent and I'm the kid, and all he has ever known is a mother who has weighed at least 500 and then 600 and then 700 pounds. I really do feel like I'm a burden. Pauline's stubborn attitude and victim mentality is all too common with my 600-pound life stars, just like Nicole. Nicole is one of the most viral stars from the show, with dramatic outbursts and tantrums that probably everyone has seen before. Between Nicole and her partner Charlie, the pair make their episode one of the most entertaining, as their selfishness and arrogance will make your jaw drop. Nicole's obesity causes her to be almost immobile, and simple trips to the supermarket are challenging, as Charlie has to move aisles and crates to the side in order to squeeze Nicole through. Like Kirsten from earlier, Nicole's parents look after her young children as she's become too obese to look after them, or even herself properly. Nicole is known to social services, having threatened to remove her children from her due to neglect. Nicole's parents look after the children, but only so they don't get placed into care. Nicole's mother is frustrated at having to look after toddlers at her age, and resents Nicole for not taking responsibility in losing the weight and stepping up as a parent. In a hard to watch scene, Nicole shouts to her
yeah, I want a life update for the other kid, you know? We just go on to the next one, I guess. Where's the update? How's the kid now? Please. I need to know.
2-year-old who is unaccompanied while having a bath as he is playing with the hot water tap. As Nicole weighs over 600 pounds, she can't fit through the door to reach her child.
That's kind of scary.
Please, can you shut the water off and come with mommy? Jaden, please come on. I can't fit in the bathroom door. I can't fit in the bathroom door, Mom.
All right, I'll get him.
I can't take care of my kids, but there's nothing I...
See, that's so scary. Like, what if your parents weren't home and your kid got in the tub? And let's say that, I mean, what if he started to, like, drown in it? You can't get to him? That's just so sad, you know? I mean, at least the water was like almost non-existent in the tub, so that's good.
I can do about it right
still,
now.
the odds of that happening.
To help, Nicole's mother is also frustrated because she can't cope having to look after 2 babies on her own, and Nicole can't help in any capacity. With 2 parent figures who can't give the children the full attention they deserve, it's incredibly upsetting to watch. Nicole is so absent from her children that they don't even recognize that she is her mother.
That's true.
Instead, they
like
think
half
their
an inch of
grandma
water.
is.
That's true.
And it hurts me that my kids think their grandmother is their mom, and that I'm not even a parent. One time I said to my son, "Do you love mama?" And he looked over at my mom and smiled. And it made me feel like he was calling her mom. And that's very hurtful.
In another viral scene from the show, Nicole and her family stay at the hotel while visiting Dr. Now, where she realizes that the bed is on wheels. As Nicole can't get on top of the bed due to it rolling away beneath her, the couple have a heated argument, shouting at each other in front of their young children who are playing on the bed. Nicole's attitude is disgusting.
You always take the children out of that situation. You don't want them witnessing that. No.
As she insults Charlie and swears at him in front of the children.
You figure there'd be like locks on the wheels though. Maybe. I don't know.
When they said it was upstairs. Idiot. I can't get on it, Charlie.
Why can't you? I'm holding
Just
the
give me
bed.
the chair over there.
Tensions rise as Nicole launches an attack on her entire family, furious that she can't get on the bed, calling her family bastards, screaming and shouting so loud her
Yes. Let me call my family, who was helping me, sacrificing their time, helping me, taking care of my children, getting me food, going to work, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, let's just call them some pretty awful sick names, you know? That's gonna be great. You know, they could just say, no, sorry. All right, well, bye. We're just leaving. You know, you're not helping and we're trying to help you. You're not making this easy. You're blaming us for your problem. You know what? Good luck. Bye. They could just easily do that. Especially him. Like, he can just leave her, technically. This poor kid right here. He looks so upset. But don't criticize and insult the people that are trying to help you, because then you're not going to get any.
children start crying.
More than likely.
Nicole is selfish through and through, choosing food over her children
Lots,
and making
yeah, maybe
no effort
yeah.
to change. It's unsettling to think of the children's future, as even their grandmother isn't overly happy about having to look after them. Another 600-pound lifestyle with a toddler is Ashley D, weighing in at over 700 pounds. Her size has made her almost immobile, able to walk only a 20-meter distance at a time. The only task that Ashley can do is wash and relieve herself, but struggles with anything else. At the start of her episode, alarm bells start ringing, as Ashley's apartment is not just untidy, but filthy. She clearly is unable to keep on top of the chores that people of a normal size just find easy to do. One of Ashley's biggest fears is that when she becomes immobile, she will need someone to take care of her. It's frustrating to see.
No. So she's expecting to become immobile? So you're not helping your situation. You're not trying to do... If you're thinking, man, when I become immobile, you need to change your frame of thought. You need to start thinking, I could become immobile, and then I'll have to have people take care of me. You know what? I'm going to change this. I'm going to start, doing at least some workouts, changing my eating habits, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to have people take care of me. I'm done.
Ashley say this when
Oh,
she's
no.
done absolutely nothing to take control of the situation. It's also completely ironic, considering she already does have someone taking care of her, her 5-year-old son, Patrick. Everything that involves standing and walking around, Ashley relies...
You're relying on a 5-year-old. That poor child.
...on Patrick to do, which is every household chore.
Chores?
My legs and a lot of things. Basically everything that involves standing and walking around a lot, Patrick does for me.
Go get the blue bucket for Mama. We're gonna do some laundry real quick.
He has to help me.
We're gonna do
just
laundry?
about every household chore.
Watching this 5-year-old struggle to fill the washing machine with laundry is incredibly upsetting, as it's something
that makes me mad. Oh, that makes me so mad. You have a 5-year-old. You have a child. Take care of your child. Your child should not be taking care of you, especially at age 5. You can already see in the kid's eyes. I don't even want to go back and see it. You can see in his eyes. He's just emotionless. Just nothing. Nothing. They should be smiling, giggling, and we had like him laying his head on his hand, just emotionless
that no
behind the
young
eyes.
child should have to worry about.
Ugh.
Learning to do household chores is something that everyone learns, but not until you're
Thank you for
at
the
least
prime me.
able to reach the machine without having to climb on top of it. It's
Poor
important to
thing.
mention too that if Ashley wasn't classed as disabled due to her weight and needing a carer, that her behavior towards Patrick would be
I
considered.
mean, the good part about that is, shoot, kids gonna know how to do everything. And gonna be very responsible, or they can be overworked and not want to do anything else anymore. They could be overly doing all the chores, and then when it's done by themselves, no, I'm not going to do that. And then it can go one of different ways.
Abuse, if it isn't already. One YouTuber commenter noted, watching that kid do laundry just broke my heart. I'm glad he's so smart and independent, but it shouldn't be taught this way.
I agree.
I hope she is better now. It isn't just household chores that Patrick needs to do either, but also prepare all
Cooking?
of Ashley's meals, which, as we know due to her size, are very calorie dense and very unhealthy. As Ashley's husband works away as a truck driver for 70 to 100 hours a week, Ashley eats whatever Patrick
I was like, husband, what are you doing? Okay, that makes sense, being a trucker and everything.
is capable to make for her, which is a lot of cupboard snacks and microwave food. It's unfair to watch Patrick
How's the kid reach
struggle
the
this much,
microwave
as
unless
Ashley
it's on the
has
counter?
robbed him of his childhood, as their roles as parent and child have been completely reversed. Genuinely, just writing this part of the YouTube video is really upsetting, because a 5-year-old doesn't deserve this kind of stress and responsibility because his
he needs to
mother is
play.
so overweight. She can't help him at all. Just like Ashley's 700-pound Miller casts a shadow of fear and worry over her children, as they do literally everything.
I need a follow-up video of how the kids are now, of all of them, especially the 5-year-old. I want to know how the 5-year-olds, are they okay? I hope they're okay.
For her. Growing up with an emotionally distant mother, the only affection Miller received from her mother was through food. If Miller or her siblings refused food from their mother, she would see this as rejection and resort to violence against the children.
I do sometimes blame myself for Miller being the way she is. But at the time, I thought it was fine that she ate that much.
As Miller was the oldest, she would eat her siblings' food that they couldn't finish to save them from being punished.
What?
She never said it. She never hugged me or kissed me. But what she would do is feed us. Giving us food was the only way my mother knew to show her love for us. And if we didn't take that food, my mother saw it as a rejection, and we would get a whipping.
Food
I hated the, you need to finish your plate. You need to finish it. Okay, well, what if I throw up? It might be too much, you know. You get punished for not finishing your meal?
was the only love Miller received, so she just wanted more and more.
I kept gaining, and I just kept getting bigger.
So that kind of makes sense in the weight
When I graduated high
gain.
school, I was pushing 350, and they did not have a gown to fit me. I was so embarrassed.
Miller had her first child with her husband Elroy when she was just under 500 pounds. When the couple tried to conceive another, they found that Miller was too overweight to carry another child, so they ended up adopting. It's already insane to think that at 500 pounds and climbing, Miller thought it was a good idea to take on more children when she was already struggling to look after the one.
I will say I kind of had to be like, I'm full, I can't eat anymore. And then it would be the, okay, we'll take 2 more bites kind of thing. I'm full. Stop.
One she had. By the time they adopted their last child, Miller was 38 with 5 children. At 40 years old, Miller started to develop lipedema, which is a chronic condition that...
Yeah, the thing is, yeah, I don't understand why these people have children. Like, you are too overweight to bear a child, so you adopt 2 other children just to take care of you at that point, you know?
Causes abnormal fat and connective tissue to build up in the body, usually in the legs and hips. The lipedema, combined with Miller's obesity, meant that it became increasingly difficult to get up and do anything.
As it got bigger and bigger, it became this huge weight, and it just held me down. And one day it got so big, I couldn't get up anymore. So I have no idea how big I am.
Ultimately, Miller became bedbound, completely relying on her children to look after her every need. To make matters worse, Miller's husband Elroy started to have health issues too, which resulted in his reduced mobility as he relies on a wheelchair and walker to get around.
I have a lot of health issues going on myself. I'm in end-stage renal failure, and I have congestive heart failure. It's took a toll, so I need to take care of myself.
Miller's daughter takes care of most of the chores, especially the food shopping, and she seems somewhat resentful to the unhealthy requests her mother makes. She likely finds it frustrating that Miller doesn't sympathize with her, feeling sorry that because of her weight, her daughter has to take responsibility for feeding the family.
I do mostly all the grocery shopping now.
How old is she?
Since my dad can't walk in stores. I don't usually see my friends grocery shop unless they're with their parents.
See, the dad can't help it. I mean, that it is what it is with his situation, unfortunately. But the thing is, if she had taken care of herself, then she would be able to take care of the family. But now the kids are in charge again. Yeah. The kids are in charge again.
They don't do it by themselves.
Miller's daughter is also slightly afraid of Miller, as if she doesn't get exactly what she wants, she will be punished.
You can get a 12-pack of the pea sodas.
How should be
2 12 packs
punished?
will be fine. Ice cream bars, please.
Don't get the diet ones.
We don't want to bring my mom.
If you don't specify, you're gonna get the light and fit ones, you know? What are they? I mean, actually, they're not bad. There's some diet ice cream bars that are actually pretty good. Pretty good. Should be getting those. Don't tell any different. Just, oh, this is what they could do. This is what they could do, right? They could buy a box of the diet ones and a box of the normal ones, right? But then they swap the boxes. So basically, the normal ones are in the diet, and then the diet ones are in the normal. So if you pull out the box and say, do you want this ice cream? Okay, it's coming from this not fat-free, full-on fat ice cream bar. Yeah. You gotta play the system, I guess. I don't know. Just trick them to eating healthy. Maybe. That's a lot of stuff, though.
Some of the stuff
blurry.
she asks us to bring her, but we have to. She'll be mad if we don't.
Beyond the household chores, Miller's daughter feels guilty for her
Most
mother's
of the ice
ways,
cream.
as she understands.
And see, it bothers me because I feel for these kids because they want to tell her no because it's unhealthy for her. But because of her authority as a parent, they fear her. And they're at that young age where they are too afraid to fight back, you know, and stand up for themselves or stand up for helping her. I don't know.
That she is the one buying and feeding her parents.
I do feel responsible for my mom's rate because she can't get up and get it. It's just hard to know what to do when she wants food because we feel bad for her because she's in the bed.
This is such an unfortunate burden for her daughter to bear, though, as she's simply doing what is being asked of her, yet has to take on the responsibility that her mother could die because of the food that she's feeding her. As mentioned before, Miller's children do absolutely everything to look after her, one of which being to clean their mother after she defecates in the bed.
I know there's a delay in the stream. You're requiring your children to clean up your butt. To clean your butt. To flip you over. See that lovely area and clean it? It's just getting worse at this point. No, pack of Oreos got closed and set aside, not hungry anymore. That's okay. Yep, CPS. CPS all the way. That's awful. Disgusting.
One
with the
important note on this
bedpan.
subject is that if Miller weren't bedbound due to her obesity, her children taking care of her after she defecates would be classed as child abuse. Ultimately, the responsibility and emotional burden that Miller places on her children because she can't stop eating is enormous. Burden that Miller places on her children because
emotionless, dead inside. I mean, that there's no life behind those eyes at all.
She can't stop eating is enormous.
Bring me a plate and my oranges out of the refrigerator.
So I'm trapped
Say
here,
please,
and
at
I
least.
can't go anywhere. I can't do anything unless
Can
it's
you
in
please
this
bring
bed.
me this?
So
Not
most
bring me
of
the
everything
thing.
around this house falls on my children.
In a similar situation is 705-pound Lisa Fleming, whose children and grandchildren look after her around the clock.
I'm stuck
Why
in
is it
this
getting worse with
bed
each
and
one?
I'm helpless.
Grandchildren
I
are helping you
can't go
too?
anywhere. I can't walk.
After her father tragically passed away when she was young, Lisa
Yeah, make her get
spiraled
out of bed to get the
control and
food.
turned to alcohol and food as a coping mechanism. Things only got worse for Lisa as her brother passed away not long after, which her mother blamed her for. A few years later, Lisa then lost her mother.
Okay, that is kind of harsh, though, I will say. If your brother passes away and your mom blames you, I don't know what the specifics are, but regardless of what happened, your mother blaming you for your sibling's death, that's got to be emotionally just traumatizing, basically.
In my early 40s, I found out my mom had cancer. So I moved back home with my mom, and she passed away shortly after. Losing my mom, almost lost my mind. I started eating around the clock, and I picked up weight so fast. I was over 500 pounds.
Her story is tragic and deeply sad, explaining why Lisa turned to food to cope, as it was the only thing in her life that she felt she could control. Immobile and bedbound, Lisa's adult daughter and her young grandson are the primary caregivers in her life, living in the same house as her and watching her 24/7.
A month ago, I started feeling sick, and my leg was really bothering me. I kept saying, my leg is hurting bad. And when Danielle pulled open the folds of my skin, she found little maggots on there. So now she has to check my leg every day, and I can't believe it got so bad.
Not only is Lisa critically obese, but she's also one of the oldest stars on the show at 50 years old. This means that she also has a myriad of additional health complications.
Number one, if you have grandchildren, you're supposed to spoil them and love them as a grandparent, technically. That's your job. And they're cleaning you? And you saw the kid's eyes. I'm not going to go back because I don't want to land on the leg part again. But you saw the kid's eyes. Dead inside as well. You can really tell how someone is behind, like with the way their eyes are. It shouldn't hurt that much to get clean unless it was the maggot area. Maggots.
Related to her age and obviously her weight. Lisa's daughter has to bathe and clean her frequently, as her obesity-related skin infections need to be cleaned and disinfected. Her grandson also helps with his daily routine, an unsettling image as he has to clean his grandmother while she's completely undressed.
We all have to help her.
2,
3.
Don't make your freaking grandson have to see his grandmother naked and have to clean her.
My grandson don't even get a chance to be a kid because he's so...
Yeah, the medical reasons is different, right? That's different.
busy catering.
That poor child.
Like the story with Miller, this just reeks of child abuse, as no child should have to see their parent or grandparent in this disturbing way. One YouTube commenter wrote, "It's extremely sad that the grandson has to be subjected to this. This is just generational trauma developing before our eyes."
It is.
Although Lisa's daughter Danielle is an adult, capable of making her own decisions, she is still a victim of her mother, as she herself struggles with her own weight, falling into the same bad habits as her mother. One YouTube comment said her daughter is set and ready to be in a similar position as her mother.
I
The
hope
mother
not.
needs someone to motivate her to lose weight, and it certainly isn't the daughter. After failing to lose any weight over the course of her treatment, Danielle is disappointed in Lisa for letting her down, reflecting on the years of support she offered her mother with nothing in return.
I'm not gonna get the surgery I came here for. Dr. Now is done with me.
So what are your plans going forward?
Well, I had just planned on just giving up, Danielle.
Why?
I'm just not getting nothing accomplished. And I feel like you the only one of my children who even care enough about me.
You can't expect nobody else to be a cheerleader.
Wait, what did she say?
Even care enough about you. And I feel like you the only one of my children who
Okay.
even care.
I thought she said none of my children care about me. Okay, she's the only one of her children that cares about her. Okay, making sure I heard that
You
right.
can't expect nobody else to be a cheerleader for you. You're gonna have to be your own cheerleader sometimes. You need to do it for yourself.
I know.
And you don't need to be letting me down.
But I can't let myself down either.
All right. We're gonna do this.
Unfortunately, just several months after her episode aired, Lisa tragically passed away after her body gave out. Another star who struggled to turn things around is £530.
Yeah, unfortunately, like at her age, it's probably going to be really, really difficult, and surgery would have been very risky, I'm assuming.
Penny, who is also known as one
Very
of the many
unfortunate.
stars who failed Dr. Now's weight loss program. Penny had an addiction to food from a young age, always being the heaviest person in her class, and even having to wear plus-size adult clothes as a child.
And I remember like 4th grade, I started having to wear plus sizes. I hated that really bad. Just gaining 20 pounds a year. I ended up being close to 300 by the time I was 22 or so.
After getting married to her now husband Edgar, the couple had a young child together named Liam. Unlike the other parents, Edgar did quit his job to look after Penny, becoming her full-time carer. Liam doesn't have the same
Also use food and booze as a coping mechanism, but you had a moment of clarity and got yourself together. I'm very proud of you. Very, very proud of you. Very, very. So where's the money coming from now? If the husband quit his job, where's the money coming from? Like, what? Who knows? Could be savings, could be
after his mother as the
stability.
other star's children do, but that doesn't mean that he isn't being neglected by Penny. As Penny is bedbound, she can only see Liam if he comes to her. This means that Liam can't be left alone with her, as if something bad happened to him, she wouldn't be able to get to him at all.
I help take care of my son, but it's here. If he refused to come into my bubble, then I wouldn't be able to help him.
What are you helping him with? That's the problem. Yeah, this is the worst parents of 600-pound life. So, yeah, they're all going to be children involved. What are you helping him with at that point? I'm just getting angry. I'm mad. I'm sad.
Edgar, who takes care of everything around the house, looking after Penny and Liam.
Penny is very stubborn, and Ed does enable her. He buys whatever she tells him. And if he doesn't, he's gonna be in trouble.
Ed definitely does bring the food in to the house.
What's the in trouble? I want to know. Are you going to be yelled at? That's when you just walk out of the room. That's when you say, here's a salad. No dressing, by the way. And walks out of the room. How are you getting in trouble at that point? I just want to know, actually want to know, like, oh, well, you're going to get in trouble if you don't listen to what they want, etc. Well, how? I mean, they can't, right? Currently, they can't get up and go after you, you know? You have to go to them. So, other than like a screaming match, I mean, yeah, you just leave them. I don't know. I know.
Also believe that.
I know it's like a lot of emotional other stuff involved as well. I'm just coming from an outside source, so it's a little different for me, I'm sure.
He doesn't have much choice.
Penny is also unable to attend any of Liam's sports or school events, as she's too big to be transported the distance. Instead, Edgar has to record Liam's milestone events to show Penny when they arrive home.
Today's Liam's graduation for kindergarten.
Aww.
It's hard because I'll be leaving to go see the award ceremony, and I'll be here. Could you bring me home an award and some pictures, okay?
I want it.
Who loves you?
You.
Liam, go get one of them wipes.
It's hard not to be there, but it's even harder when I say, I'm sorry I can't be there today. And he's like, oh, it's okay.
Liam is always visibly upset by this, seemingly confused as to why his own mother can't be there at these special events. Some of Penny's family members even agree that Penny is an unfit mother and feel deep sympathy for Liam that he doesn't have the support from her that any child deserves from their parents.
She's a great mom, but you just can't be a good mom when you're in bed.
Liam loves her so much, and I thought having him would change everything, but it hasn't. It's gotten worse.
As if that couldn't be frustrating enough, Penny is also incredibly delusional, as she believes that she does a lot more for Liam than most mothers do.
I never want anyone to discount, well, you didn't get to do these things with your son, because the things that I've done with my son on a regular daily basis probably exceed what regular moms get to do that have.
No. I'm not a mother. But you can do a lot more things when you're out of bed and going to sport events, going to karate practice, going to the kindergarten graduation. They remember those, by the way. What are you doing? Maybe coloring? Painting? Talking? Reading a book? Story time? Yeah, that's a little delusional to me right there.
To go out in the workforce. Still, there's things that all moms miss, but I'll be at his next event. I know I will.
And I don't understand how this could be true when she can't walk, can't prepare his meals, clean his laundry, or even play with him, when most mothers can do this with ease. Penny is also completely unsympathetic during her treatment, as Dr. Now requires the family to relocate to Houston so that they can be close to the hospital. Liam has to leave his school and all of his friends to stay in a tiny one-bed apartment, where he has to share a bunk bed with his father.
This is Liam and I's room. It's only a one-bedroom. I get the bottom bunk. Obviously, can't sleep with Penny. I know Liam can't wait for her to come home.
Penny never once seemed apologetic about this, failing to take responsibility for the fact that it's because of her that they've had to relocate.
You know, the thing is there really wasn't a diet like given to us or to me. I'm waiting for the food.
All right.
I need to get something in me.
Oh, there was no diet given to me. I don't know, because apparently your husband gets in trouble if he doesn't give you what you want. Now you're yelling at the man who's been taking care of you the whole time, and he's trying his hardest and fastest to cook, and after had to move his whole family over to halfway across the United States just for you.
I feel like I'm dropping on my shoulder.
Hi, Askira. Hi. Welcome in.
With Dr. Now, she seems unconcerned by the fact that the quicker she loses weight, the quicker that she will be discharged. And that means the quicker that Liam can return back to their home in Maryland to be with his friends again.
Even if I'm not successful in the world's eyes, the fact that I did all of this so far changed my path in life forever.
Okay, I'm assuming that these are, I think this is someone's plate, but is this her section? It looks like she doesn't like things touching, because well, that's touching, so never mind.
And I don't ever have to be an ideal weight in Liam's eyes, because he's seen what I'm willing to do for him. And he's proud of me.
Out of all the parents discussed so far, Penny is definitely the most delusional.
That's all he's lived with. So that's all he knows is the problem.
She firmly believes that she's a fantastic parent to Liam, not thinking for a moment that she is deeply harming him.
At this point, I don't think Penny has any intention to change anything in her lifestyle. I don't know what will work for Penny. I hope she wakes up at some point. Otherwise, I don't think she's gonna live too long.
And saving the worst till last is James King. Notorious for being one of, if not the worst stars on the show, for his repulsive attitude and victim mentality.
You know that I'm just now getting the resources that I've been needing.
We're talking about your food. You're not talking anything
all
else.
of it. I've needed all of it, though, to start with. I haven't had home health. I've had nothing.
Don't you tell the doctor, and don't you start now. Don't you start now. You don't fight this man. This man? This man will tell you no, and he don't care.
Are you telling me not to start?
Obviously, if you're a subscriber to the channel, you'll know all about James King. And if you haven't subscribed yet, which is probably the majority of people watching, I would massively appreciate it if you did. With his weight unknown, but estimated to be well over 600 pounds, James is completely bedbound. He relies on his partner,
fight the people
Lisa,
that want to
and
help
his
you.
daughter, Bailey, to be sole caretakers as he can no longer take care of himself.
I better get what I want, or I'm really going to be upset, especially in the morning at breakfast.
I'm biting my tongue right now. Like, I better get what I want, especially breakfast. You have to have a chain to sit up, sir. Is there a full video on this so I can go on a full rage rant? Because I will. I will rage. I'm already raging now. Bring me the whole version of this one.
Breakfast ready?
No, not yet.
Once I'm up and the day has started, all I'm waiting on is sausage, eggs, and biscuits all covered in gravy.
Damn.
Looks good, baby.
When I tell him he doesn't need it, he'll
What's he
get
gonna do?
mad
Chase him?
and
Yeah,
yell.
exactly.
It makes me angry and sad at the same time. So frustrated.
But
Not
yeah,
only does
you're cleaning your father.
James need help with
Who
his
is
day-to-day
ungrateful, by
needs,
the way.
but he also has many health issues as a result of his weight. He has extensive skin infections on his legs, as his blood cannot circulate around his body properly. This requires Lisa and Bailey to wash him and clean him every single day. While James wears a catheter, he still has to relieve himself the other way in his bed. This means that Bailey has to help clean up her own father's feces multiple times a day, and judging by the size of the meals that James eats, I doubt it's an easy job.
I went to the bathroom. I need to be cleaned up.
Okay.
How are you asking that so casually?
Give me a minute. I'm gonna get Bailey to help me, okay?
Where's my frown face? Hold on.
I just can't do anything for myself anymore. Okay.
That's your fault, sir.
James cannot take care of himself at all. He cannot bathe himself. He cannot use the restroom. He has to wear a catheter. And it breaks my heart to see that James is trapped in a bed and can't do the things that he loves to do.
Okay.
It's disturbing that Lisa also
There's something called, like, what, hard love? Where you're gonna tell him no? Like, oh, I'm so sad to see him here. You fed him, by the way. You listened to him and fed him. You could have changed the food, but again, we don't know the situation. Emotionally, mentally at home, we don't know that situation. It's completely different when it's within your family. But you gotta... Sometimes you gotta tell people, no, you're gonna do it this way. If I'm doing it for you and you're relying on me, no, we're doing it my way. Sorry.
allows this, allowing Bailey to pick up more and more work every single day.
My mom pulled me out of school because...
Dead eyes. Look, eyes. Just...
More and more work every single day.
She has the dead eyes as well. It's always like just a glazed look. The eyelid kind of over the, what you call it, over the eye. The iris. Iris? Just dead.
My mom pulled me out of school because I have to help with my dad.
You pulled your child out of school because of your selfless father? Selfish, not selfless. Selfish father. I know English. Because you're a selfish father who doesn't care about anything. Ungrateful. Put this on himself. On himself. I'm sure they probably do quotation homeschool, maybe. That might be what they're doing instead. Don't. Why are you doing this to your child? Don't let your child go through this. I don't.
I don't feel
Don't
like
punish your
I should
children
have to
for
be
your
a
husband's
caretaker
fault.
to my dad because a father is supposed to protect and take care of his daughter.
Just in case.
But it's my dad, and I'm not gonna let him just lay there.
No child should have to quit school to take care of their parents, especially as James's situation is entirely his own fault. One YouTube commenter
That's
wrote,
sad.
making the daughter drop out of school because of her father's gluttony and laziness is
Where's the video at? Okay, I guess it's just a black screen.
evil. especially as the mother is there and should be doing it all. Shitty parents and people. It's not a surprise to see how many people are absolutely outraged at the decision to pull Bailey out of school. Sacrificing a young girl's education for the sake of her father's morbid obesity is honestly just disgusting. James's story doesn't end well for him either, as unfortunately after the show aired, he passed away at the age of 49 from
791 pounds? And 49 is young.
kidney failure. James is one of the biggest failures on my 600-pound life, and if you want to see the biggest failures on the rest of the show, click the video that's on your screen now, and I'll see you in the next one.
And so highly recommend you go and follow Big Craig, 31,000 followers.
Yeah, go follow. I'm angry.